Rachel used to put it in the fancy one and then give me the folder,
I also don't staple here.
but I already did. Gave you all your paper clips back.
I set yours aside specifically because I thought you didn't like to have them stapled because you don't like to fold them back and forth.
Oh, I like the
It
staples.
wouldn't make no difference. If you stapled it, it'd be wrong if you left them.
I like it stapled, but I gotta have the corners all lined up really good.
Oh, like,
I'm glad you paper clipped it.
It makes no difference.
High maintenance. I feel bad.
I did that myself though. That's not high maintenance again. That's me. I did it.
did you get your copy of the email?
The letter, yeah, from about the contracts.
The garbage contract? Yeah.
Alright, it is 7 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order, turn to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright, just one minor correction, this should just be roll call, not of officers, so I need roll call, please.
Todd,
Here.
Sam,
Here.
Orb,
Here.
Devin,
Present.
Monica, present, Bob, Ben,
Present.
Alright, and we will move on to review and approve minutes. We'll start with the November 14th.
I have a couple things I wanted to, just little things here. Under reports on page 1, Partridge states that he is now on, I was talking about something else, but Partridge states he is now on ZBA Parks and Rec, just not, take out the word as, I would think, right? Instead of just as, not as. So take the first as out.
just not as a board liaison.
Yep. But only the first as.
Yeah.
And on page 2, receive and set public hearing dates. Just missing the 2, it looks like.
Where? Oh, just down here.
That's all I noticed. Everything else looks fine, I think.
Make a motion to accept the changes.
I'll second. So I have a motion and a second to approve the November 14th minutes with corrections. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to the November 18th minutes. Any comments or questions on those? If not, I will make the motion to approve as written.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the November 18th minutes as written. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to review of reports, starting with the marijuana coordinator report. Any questions on that report?
no,
If not, let's move along to the zoning administrator report. like the meeting with the court went about as expected? They're not doing anything wrong, it's us.
I'll wait. If you want, I'll touch on that. We received at the meeting Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The way it's gonna work is basically Troy would still write warnings, but if he wants it to go to a citation, he has to turn it over to an attorney somehow, basically. I don't know the exact proper way.
Okay.
The attorney then has to file paperwork with the court to set up a hearing. The attorney has to be present at anything at the court. So even like a pretrial hearing, I don't remember the proper wording, but it's that where if the person doesn't show up, you might win by consent that way.
Yeah, default judgment or something like
Yeah,
that.
you might win that way. Other than that, then a trial fight probably would be set, and the attorney has to come back again. We'll pay each time for each thing. That's the process as it is now.
And they also are just not only us, 5 other townships are doing it, and they're gonna lump them together so that you don't go, as they said, each one of them.
Mhm.
But there'll be maybe 20 citations from this township, 10 from the other, and then they'll all go on the docket. The judge will have say, from 9 to 12 on one day, then they're all gonna go there. That way your attorney fees ain't back and forth.
Right.
They're able to sit there, and today the contract was signed with the company for the ordinance of the like blight and stuff. That was signed today and sent in. So, just so you know, have it under control. Very well monitored. This whole new company is gonna be right on it.
So our attorney has to be present at every one of the meetings?
Yeah, but they'll do it all at once, and it's kinda judges being hard to get along with, just like Devin said. But now that this new stuff is going, we'll have dockets and they'll be taken care of.
We got, would you say 4 or 5 other?
Yes, I think, am I right? Was it 5? Huh? Yes, I think it's 5 other townships that are doing it.
I know there was a few that had signed on to the letter.
No, but they
This
was,
has nothing to do with that.
But yeah, but
You're saying it, but you're missing the point. It's who is represented by our attorney.
Oh, got
It's
it.
all he's talking in this case.
that's it.
five municipalities in Tuscola County are represented by this, so
I don't remember the number because they didn't say an exact number. They said 4 or 5.
yeah.
Because the judge only handles the criminal docket some days, and then these another days. So there'll be certain days that'll be allotted, and the people will be fined and ticketed or whatever happens. Whatever they decide.
Okay. Good to know. Any other comments or questions on these then? If not, we'll move along.
I'll give a verbal if you're right, because I didn't write them. But basically speaking, we approved the Safe Built contract. I didn't know we signed it today. That'd be the same company that you go through for the county if you do a building permit, except now we'll have our own agreement with them for going after certain things.
Okay.
They'll work directly with our township.
Okay.
I don't know about the sign today. We approved it at Tuesday night's meeting. When they signed it is irrelevant. Then they also went over the change orders. We changed some things on the building over across the street. So they approved things like 5 windows being added, 2 on the 2 on the west wall, 3 on the north wall, where there's no windows now. And they're gonna go with all vinyl tiling instead of any ceramic tiling or carpet. It was in between price that way.
Okay.
Other little odds and things, but if you want to know any of that, I've got the paperwork and look it up, but other little changes were made too.
Color of flooring, so I didn't care for.
Some interesting color was already previously picked that the clerk does not like, so color is back open again. Has not yet been picked as of Tuesday night.
Okay. Anything else? Was there any movement on the approval of the subcommittee for the Parks and Rec, or did that not get brought
That
up?
did not get brought up.
Okay.
However, I don't remember the title of the form got approved.
Oh, the capital.
Thank you. That.
Capital and expense
Yes.
request.
Yes, that got approved for use.
Okay. So taking one here, so we need,
How come you don't fill out a report? That's part of your job description, huh?
No, it's actually not.
Yeah.
There's nothing in writing that says I have to do that, and I don't have time this
You
month.
can
so-
pick on everybody else, but you can't do yours.
That's right, yep. I don't have a clue what you're talking about, but you can say whatever you would like.
he's an elected official. We
There's
can ask.
absolutely nothing in writing asking you to do that, or telling me to have to do that. It's something I chose to do. I don't believe every clerk or every person before me did it. As a matter of fact, Bill didn't used to do a written one. Bill did a verbal one every month.
Board to
The immediate person before me. So,
and approve.
See, Todd, you don't have to fill out nothing, nobody has to fill it out.
All right,
I have a
Bob.
clue what you're talking about.
I used to ask him about the Parks and Rec thing. That meeting was canceled because of the weather and rescheduled for the 17th, so that's why there isn't anything in there right now.
Parker was
And
December
so-
17th.
Oh, 17th.
Parker was December
Yeah,
17th.
yeah.
Okay, then with that, we will move on to receive and set public hearing dates for new and or renewal medical adult use marijuana applications. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one on Sandy Ridge is a renewal, right? For
Yes.
WLJ.
Yes, it is.
And the one on Crooked Creek, he's asking to add an additional Class C.
Yes.
Okay. So it's 2 renewals plus a new.
Yes.
Bud is just a renewal. Okay. And Vassar Team is just a renewal. Okay. So our next regular meeting is January 9th. So I will make the motion to set the public hearing for Vassar Team LLC, Bud Bundy, WLJ Ventures renewals, and WLJ new special land use permit applications to be held at the January 9th meeting that begins at 7 p.m. Did I have a second?
I'll second it.
So I have a motion and a second to set this list of renewals and new special land use permit application to be held at the January 9th meeting that begins at 7 p.m. Any further discussion?
Who seconded that?
Or if not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Alright, so those will be then. And then this site plan holding, is that email that is in here, Rachel?
Yeah, there's an email and site plans attached to that.
Okay. We do have a spot on the agenda that we might be able to cover that tonight.
Oh,
But we will move on for right now. At 7:13, we will open the public hearing for New Age Horticulture, Medical and Adult Use, Grower Class B Special Land Use Permit Renewals. Anybody here receive a notification for this public hearing and renewal that wishes to speak at this time? If not, then at 7:14, 7:14, we will close the public hearing for New Age horticulture, medical and adult use, grower class B special land use permit renewals, and move to planning commission and discussion. Rachel, normal questions, postings were done, mailings were sent out,
Yes.
any violations?
Nope.
Alright. Any complaints, not actual written violations?
No.
Okay. This is just a straight renewal, no changes, correct?
Correct.
Alright, anybody else, any questions? Anybody? No?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't have one. I don't know if Bob did or not.
Bob, you have anything? Okay. Monica?
No, I do not.
Wolf? Sam? Todd? Alright, well then, in that case, I will make the motion to approve, the renewal of New Age horticulture's medical and adult use Class B, grower special land use permit as presented. Do you have a second?
I will second.
Alright, I have a motion and a second to approve New Age Horticulture's medical and adult use Class B grower special land use permit renewals. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote please.
Ben,
Yes.
Bob,
Abstain?
Monica, yes. Devin,
Yes.
or
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Todd.
Yes.
Alright, the motion passes. And Rachel will take care of you from there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next agenda item is to review the AT&T site plan changes. Basically what I gathered in looking through it a few times, they're just basically moving and changing some of the receivers on the tower. It did not appear that they were addressing any of the actual, like, growing out the site. Looks like they are adding one additional cabinet on one of the gangways. But yes, they are changing. They're changing some of the receivers on the tower and adding a GPS antenna, lab cabinet, and all that for that. Outside of that, they're not making any other inherent changes to the property. Same tower height, same type of tower. When you're looking through this, the anything in red is to be removed. Anything that is in orange is being relocated, and I can't remember if that's being relocated from the other tower that exists at that location that they were trying to get decommissioned. But then the blue is anything that's being added. Like I said, it doesn't look like they're doing any addition other than onto the tower and platform itself.
So the only additions, I'm not talking about equipment on the tower, but on the ground would be that little building thing that they use. And it'll be inside the same fenced area, right?
Yes, it's on the, it's,
Or
correct.
off area.
Yeah, it's on the platform with the building and all that, that houses all the electronics. It's just another cabinet installed on that platform.
Right, okay. So I guess I never even thought about having to come in for an update for just doing things on the tower like that. I thought it would only have to be done if they were making physical changes to the site.
So I mean, obviously our current version of the ordinance is unclear. It just says any changes to any approved site plans. So,
Okay.
I mean, I would think, and this is something that we could possibly address with Alec from Rowe, like stuff like this. Remember we talked about having administrative approval from like Troy, as long as it's not, like I think this would be a good case to be made for, like this could be an administrative type of approval.
Right. I mean, they're taking down some array for some equipment, or type of array from some equipment, adding a different type, or adding a different one, another
Right.
one. That's just normal routine.
We haven't changed the footprint or nothing else.
Right,
We're
yeah.
inside the same fence or.
Right. So I think this, like this type of approval, because obviously the current zoning ordinance just says, hey, if you make a site plan change, you gotta
I understand,
have it reviewed. I think this is something that we could use as a point to of being like, hey, in the new zoning ordinance, when we say Troy has the authority to administratively approve these changes, like this is a good, good model for that type of approval.
I guess I would, let me say it this way, I wouldn't care what they do inside that footprint. However, maybe it could be administrative, but they have to submit the paperwork with a 30-day review period, so that if we see something major, we could get a hold of it, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would come
The
down
next thing you know, they
to
fill up the fenced-in area with something else. It's
Right.
related. That, that
right.
changed my
There was
opinion.
some restriction on that administrative, right? Like I think it was greater than a certain X percentage change, or so many square footage added to a building.
Yeah.
There was some restrictions on it. It's been so long since
I
we
think it
looked
was
at it.
something like more than a 10% change, or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what restrictions there were, but I think this is definitely makes a good case for like, hey, this is something that, and if Troy didn't feel comfortable approving it, he still
He
has
could
the
always,
authority to say like, no, this needs to be reviewed by the planning commission. But
And there's all this
otherwise,
technical debt that comes with it. I mean, come on.
right,
None of us have a clue how to read all that.
right.
I would think.
All right. I mean, but with that, has anybody else got any questions on this then?
No.
All right. I mean, I'll make the motion to approve the requested site plan changes to the AT&T tower located at 551 Birch Road.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Was that 7 yes?
I believe so, yeah. That's what. So one other thing that Troy submitted were these sample new versions of wind and solar and battery energy storage ordinances. I'm not 100% sure where he got these from. I'm guessing it's probably something that the attorney is seeing as potentially enforceable with the state changes, basically saying you will allow it, and then this is supposed to be within what is enforceable with what the state is saying. This is very, just as the outline indicates, this is very high level, and just get it in front of everybody to take a look at. But in terms of this, I mean, these are more in the format of what the old ordinances look like. So if we wanted to do something like this, after we reviewed it and we wanted to add it to the new ordinance stuff, either while we're going through the approval process or after, we would want to consult with Alex to see how to revamp these to fit into the new format. Because remember, the new format has a lot of, here's your table of uses, here's like your main general oversight of like, this is what you can and can't do on all properties. And then once it gets into more specifics, there's another whole table, whole section where it's just very specific things for different items. So again, this was mostly just like, hey, these are things that Troy is asking us to look at and potentially adopt with the change at the state level. And I know when that change happened, I recall Alex saying like Roe wasn't even 100% sure what was going to be doable in terms of enforcement. So I will also follow up with Troy on these and see where he got these ordinances from. I didn't think to ask before I sent it out. But yeah, take a look at these. I'm not sure how the wind one changes from what we had previously done.
We never had one about battery. I never even thought about battery, did we?
No, we didn't have one for battery. We didn't have one for solar.
I thought we were working on solar.
We were
It was in batches or something.
we were trying to get to a solar one. The battery is something that's gonna start popping up more, basically as to support the grid with all these. There's a lot of, even if you drive out towards Bay City, you can see that a lot of them just sit idle just because there's too much energy being put into the grid from the systems, or they're down for maintenance. So these battery sites are going to be tacked on to some of these locations. Probably more solar than wind, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start popping up around wind farms too. Basically just to kind of even out the grid. Solar, it makes more sense because at night you can have all that extra stored energy, and then the wind one you can store those too. But again, just take a look at it, and we can figure out what we want to do from there. Like I said, I think it would be best to talk with Roe. If we're like, yeah, these kind of look good, what elements can we add, and maybe add it before we have the final public hearing for the zoning ordinances, or we just finish off the zoning ordinances that we got so far, and we can talk about maybe contracting Roe to help us reformat these to put them into the new ordinance later.
There's a lot more to it than what I expected when I was reading through this. When you're talking about the shadow,
The shadow,
the
flicker, and
noise,
all that. So the ordinance that's here for the wind is probably a slightly toned back version of the version that we did have, just because the state has changed the scope so much as to like how you can regulate it. So that's probably what's going on here. So we'll look it over, figure it out.
Isn't most of this state regulated anyways?
The state basically now basically saying like you will allow it, you will put it in. You're not going to try to regulate it out to the point where it can't be in there. I think this is what the attorney, I'm guessing, feels is based on the way that law is structured. This is the kind of stuff that we might be able to actually enforce. So whether that be like the flicker, noise, glare off the solar panels, all that kind of stuff is probably going to be stuff of that nature. Not necessarily saying like, well, it has to be X amount of feet from this, that, and the other thing, and you can't put it within X feet of, this type of structure, that kind of thing. So yeah, so with that, unless there's any other questions on that?
Well, I guess the only other one I have is, do we wanna wait to give it to him, or should we ask him now?
Ask Alan.
Yeah.
I mean, I
If we're
can,
gonna incorporate it, it would seem silly to me to finish and be done, and then try to go back. and
Well,
fit
I
this
mean,
in
we're-
somewhere.
we're getting close to being done. That's
It
the
might be
thing.
too late to do it.
It might add
Yeah.
a large amount of time. It may be better to once we look this over, while we're still going through the other process, having him think, maybe then go like, okay, what would it, basically, what would you charge the township to reformat these to fit into the current zoning ordinance?
Alright, gotcha.
I think that might be the best way to do it, and I think we're likely to probably do that going forward anyway. If we have to add new ordinances as time goes on, it probably would be best to just say like, okay, yeah, this is the basic structure of what we want to do. What is row? Like, let's go to row, have them structure it to how it's going to fit into the zoning ordinance state design, so we have the right layout and where it's going to add in at.
Okay.
All right, so anything else? If not, there is no park and rec.
The only other thing
Requests?
is that Cheryl was, what did you say, appointed to the board as the new liaison for.
Oh, the board appointed her as the liaison to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So Kuzma was his new board liaison.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so Cheryl's the new board liaison. Okay. I guess if there's anything, I would say if there's anything pressing that comes out of your meeting on the 17th, have the chairman let me know if we need to schedule a special meeting to accommodate something that's immediately urgent. All right, then with that, the next item is discussion on any items not named above, and we have something, the site plan updates for DRJC Holdings. So what exactly is going on here?
So over there are, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 buildings, and they are 3 buildings, they mirror each other. So the DRJC is in building C now, that's where they're approved to operate. And so what they want to do is move into building B, which mirrors building C. It's the same setup, what I'm told. Same exact setup, they'll be operating the same way. They're not utilizing all of their tags in building C, so they're not getting any additional tags. They'll just be so they have 1,500 tags, they'll grow, 600 in one building and 600 in the other, or whatever, how it works out, but that's what they want to do.
He doesn't have enough square footage to even get his C in one building. Now he's always going after more square footage so and he'll still be under his limit of C for building C.
Right. I mean,
They're all suites. There are 3 suites for the same address. A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not, and the license doesn't necessarily, because what I'm thinking is like the Oak Road facility where it's a bunch of different greenhouses. We've approved a blanket number of licenses, and then they just, how many ever plants they can get per. I guess the thing that I would want then, because the site plan that they have here only shows 2 existing buildings.
Yeah, B and C, it doesn't show that.
Doesn't show the building that they're current. Well, yes, it shows C.
They're in C, and they're going to take over B as well.
A is
where's
I don't know what's going on
vacant.
with A.
A is vacant, which is the same, but yeah.
But the plan
Don't
should
show
be updated to include A. Because if they've got it this way, does that mean A is actually to the what?
East. A is B. A is to the what? To the east. B
So
is
towards-
in the middle. C is
Towards
to
Sheridan Road.
Yes.
Because then that building was never on the plan to begin with. Unless B, what they have on here as B is actually A. What they have on here, that C is actually B. And then there's another building to the west that's not on this drawing.
But
That's all proposed. That's for other future buildings to the west. They just
Right,
left
no,
A
no,
out.
what I'm saying is if,
Yeah, is A actually out here, or is this really A, and this really B, and this really C?
No, no. This is
So there's another building
There's
that's not
another
even
building.
proposed or shown on here.
it is not shown. Right. It is not.
It's not proposed or shown.
No, but it was licensed through, the company that owned, that built them. It
right,
was never opened. He never opened that building under any name. He's just now gonna rent them. Sam had all them buildings, but
no, I get, yeah, I got what you're saying. It's just, this site plan is out of date then. It itself needs to be updated to show where that A building is. That doesn't change that this guy wants to take, if these are truly B and C, doesn't change that fact that he wants to take those over.
the only thing I seen on it, Devin, is, I just went through this on another building where the health department comes in and they check with the well, and now that the septic is big enough, cause they can be combined, and then they actually have to pay for the health department and other,
Yeah.
but I don't see this on this, that whenever you're going to a bigger building, the sanitary and that's the key thing, one of the key things, especially from the health department. And I don't see that form that it has approved to do that, but yet, that can be easily done, I guess. He's discussed this with me a little bit, but I said, hey, we haven't had anything like this come to us, and bring it to the board, and everybody can pick it apart. He's willing to do whatever you wanna do, but he wants to expand.
Well, so we've approved him to operate in building C.
Yep,
Okay, which means he has a well and a septic there.
yep,
We had previously approved someone to operate in B, which already has a well and septic. That would have been approved with the site. So,
But we never approved a building A, or there's a different site plan out there somewhere.
it's different owners and everything else. All I'm
Different
saying is,
owner.
I'm not saying, yeah, it did the original company only gonna have 5 employees? Now it's the second company gonna have 25 employees. This is what the health department looks at. Everything is set out by usage, number of people, whether we look at parking spots, all this. But, so all I'm saying is, I don't know if he has a problem, but I told him,
I mean, that would be a question
take
then
it to the board.
that would be a question for the health department to answer, is if the septic and that's not, I mean, that's not really something we control, is
No,
if he.
we don't control it, but we should make sure that it complies. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so along the lines of compliance, we require him to show any building within 100 feet
He
of his
hasn't done
property.
that.
Forget that, he hasn't even shown the buildings on his property, is the point I'm bringing up. If there is no building A, then this is so outdated, we can't even talk about it.
Well,
If you're saying there are literally 3 buildings.
This is the first
Maybe
I've
there is
seen.
no building A for all I know.
I haven't even seen this.
It was in your packet.
Yeah, but that came just tonight. I've just verbally talked to him.
No,
And I told him,
that's-
get your paperwork into Rachel,
Okay.
which he did. He's been talking to her.
Okay.
All right, so before me personally would approve like the go ahead with him using that building, I would want the site plan updated just so we know for certain that the building that he's wanting to take over, the building that he's in, line up to what we think looking at. Like that, it's not one building to the west, but it's actually one more building to the east. So we'd want the site plan updated, and it sounds like Bob would like to have the health department give paperwork showing that the facilities are going to be substantial enough to support increased worker load, is what I'm hearing. Yes?
Septic system that was put in 4 years ago.
Right. Just that the septic and everything is good enough for an increased employee load.
Things, the operation hasn't changed, but the name has changed and the
Yeah.
whole program has changed as far as maybe a number of employees, amount of DUs, the amount of water usage. Is it gonna?
Water usage would be the big one.
Well, for sure. That's why. and
Well, I mean, the thing is that again, we've approved
Yep.
licenses in that. Well, right now, 2 that we can see on the site plan, but
Yep.
there is a third there, which means wells and septics and all that have been approved. But like, hey, just make sure, like, just run it past the health department, make sure that it's still good for the service and increase in load. But the site plan itself does need to be updated because
Because building B was in operation,
Correct.
so I don't understand why that moving into building B would have any different impact on the septic system, but.
Different owners, different operations.
Well-
What happens if they only did
I-
200
I'm literally
homes?
asking the question, like, that just doesn't make sense to me, but if someone else was already approved an operation to grow 1,500 plants in a building,
What's
I
it,
don't.
Class A? What was in B?
I'll tell
He
you
I would-
wants to do C. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he
He
can't.
wants to
comply.
move C into B.
No, he wants to.
no, he wants
both.
to. He's got enough.
I'm sorry, he wants to expand into B.
He's got
in C
enough
and he wants to expand
capacity
into B.
with the
Yeah.
license that he
I said it
has.
wrong.
License.
Yes, he's got enough capacity with the what we've approved him with already that he cannot grow every plant that he's legally allowed to in his current building. He wants to be able to use.
Yeah.
He wants to use his existing licenses and 2 buildings.
Two
Right,
buildings.
which is-
C, A, and, or B and C.
Yep.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't
there's
think-
nothing wrong with that. I would just say that the site plan needs to be updated.
As far as the ventilation stuff too.
All of that, the building's already been approved. So unless as long as he's not changing inherently how the buildings operate and they're all clones of each other, that shouldn't be the issue. The issue here is the site plan
You're
is
saying they're all
outdated.
clones of each other,
There
but
you
if
go.
you use this site plan, building B is bigger than building C. Or, this is not built to scale.
Right,
I tried to
That's-
blow it
that's
up
what I'm
and zoom
saying.
in on the sizes, but they're not readable
Right.
even blown up, so. I
right.
can't
That's
tell you
why I'm
what to do.
saying, like, the site plan itself definitely needs to be updated. If there is a third building there, period, it needs to be updated.
Even though it's not operational and finished, it still needs to be
Doesn't
on
matter.
site.
It's gotta be on the site plan.
It needs to be.
And if you can find out if the buildings are identical, then he needs to fix the site plan for that reason, because
I mean, that's what he
visually
told-
is a bigger
that's
building.
what he told me, is
Yeah.
that the buildings are exactly the same.
The site plan is
footprint,
visually a
inside.
bigger building for B
Okay,
and C.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Already told me. So that's the information. as far
Right,
as
that's what I'm
I know.
saying, make sure he
Yeah.
knows that. He has to check that.
Okay,
Yeah,
And fix the drawing if he's right, or
right.
fix his answer if he's wrong.
yeah. And then just have him do a check with the health department
Sure.
to verify capacity of,
Okay,
you know, of the building that he wants to move into.
okay.
And
Again,
then
we're looking
once-
at photocopies, so the drawing could be just screwed up because it got shrunk down. The big copy might be right, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, once he gets that corrected, then if he submits that paperwork, then we can look at that and verify and then go to the next step.
Okay.
Alright, so then the only other thing I had for agenda item 12 is Alec did reach out to me earlier this week and said he will not be able to make the meeting on the 16th as the draft is not finished. I've got to get confirmation on he said the next regular meeting, but I don't know that he meant the next regular meeting or if he meant what should be the next regular meeting of the fourth Thursday of the month, which we,
Yeah.
right, which we did not schedule out past December because I was being super optimistic that it would be done by the end of this year. So it will end up having to be a special meeting, but I'm gonna confirm with him, which meeting he actually meant. If he actually meant the next regular meeting, or which is super full, so might be hard to have him to have anything heard, so.
So the 16th is canceled then?
The meeting for the 16th is going to be officially canceled, yes, unless we have some very pressing matters that we want to talk about then, that we have right now ready to go for the 16th. I'm saying it's canceled.
Okay.
I will,
Yeah, go ahead.
somebody else was starting to say something. I don't know.
Or we're just saying, okay.
Oh. Well, I wanted to say the 16th would be great if you want to cancel it. I have conflicts, and also that fourth Thursday of January.
The 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
I mean, we can set it,
If
we
you
can,
don't change them, then I just won't be.
Well, like I said,
may or
right
may
now-
not be here. I have conflicts that may overlap.
right now, we don't have a meeting for the
I don't
23rd
know if I can
scheduled.
be back in time for that.
Right.
That's my point.
Yeah, we don't have a meeting scheduled for the 23rd currently. The resolution that we made to adopt to have these second set of meetings only went through the end of the year.
Okay,
So it will be a special meeting,
okay.
and the meetings going forward will be scheduled as special meetings because I'm not going to do the resolution for
For a whole year, right.
a whole year when we probably are, hopefully, fingers crossed, only going to need like 3 or so more.
Okay.
So I will confirm, once I get confirmation, I will let everyone know, and then we can, if it's not gonna be at the next regular meeting, then we'll determine at the next regular meeting, based off of dates that Alex has available after that, when he would like to hold the special meeting. Make sense?
Yeah.
to everyone?
Currently, the 23rd is canceled, the next regular meeting will be on the 9th.
Yes.
Yes, the next regular meeting is the 9th.
The 16th is canceled.
The 16th is canceled, which was supposed to
23rd,
be,
there is
The
no
19th.
meeting yet.
yeah, it was supposed to be originally the 19th, it got moved to the 16th, now that it's been completely canceled. Anybody else have anything that they need brought up and we covered? If not, then move to public comment.
Motion to adjourn.
We had two individuals come in today who were planning on attending the meeting on the 16th. They want to build a tiny home and talked with Troy today. It's 400 square feet, so he went over the ordinance. It has to be at least 1,000.
Yep,
And they
there's,
want to know if there's any plans to have tiny homes put into the new ordinances.
yes and no. I don't know. It's hard to say because there is a part of the ordinance about square footage less than 1,000 square feet. But I can't remember how we ended on that one because that was at least a year ago now. Whether it was a special land use or if it had to be so many units on the property. I know there was a square footage talk on there, and it may get brought up again as to how to allow that kind of stuff, but I know Troy had asked about it, and we just weren't sure what the new ordinance said about that. But yeah, the current ordinance, there's no way. I mean, they could try to appeal to the ZBA to get a variance, but based on previous history, that has not gone well. So but they're more than, more than welcome to try if they can prove, if they word it correctly and have a way to prove that the variance is needed. So any other public comment?
What are we gonna do with them if they plan to come on the 16th, just tell them it's canceled?
They follow us on Facebook.
Oh, so
Okay.
suggest that they come to our next regular meeting and talk about it, so.
Yeah.
Bring it up, public comment, if nothing else, if they get a hold of him, you, they get on the agenda if they want to discuss it. Or if they want to present something, for example.
It's on Oak Road. They currently have a trailer there, and they want to replace the trailer with a tiny home.
Okay, I mean, I think going forward, I'm gonna probably leave this agenda item 12 discussion on any items not named above, just for instances like this. Just because it is helpful if somebody doesn't get something in front of me and it's something that we can quickly discuss. So, all right, any other public comment? If not, then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Maybe I did.
Sam seconds, I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries, meeting's adjourned at
We have
7:50.
one absent,
Yes.
one absent.
I think that happened in July, for what I told everybody in July.
Alright. I didn't realize